Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Here I have obviously done some work to the old warehouse, and I apologize for not getting it on camera. I just came home the past day or two and just went to work on it, and not really thinking about putting the camera on or anything like that. So obviously a lot has happened to it. You'll remember that I had done the de-stressing of the bricks with the scratch. Oh no, here it is. I used first I used Tamiya Hull Red paint, laid that over the plastic, and then I used the Scratches Effects from Rail Center, laid that over it, let that dry, and then put on copious amounts of white, just because I thought I'd brush it on, and then it didn't work out, and I eventually sprayed it on and everything. But needless to say, it did go on, which actually doesn't bother me too much, because it does take away some of the brick texture. But that old paint that they used to use, it got so goopy that it did take away some brick texture. So it kind of actually added to it. I'm kind of glad that it happened. And so anyways, yeah, I put that on there, let that dry, and then I did the scratch effect by taking it off with some water and a brush. And that was the last that you saw of this building. So afterwards, the last day or two, I've done just a little bit of weathering. I didn't really do much, and I wasn't really happy with the effects that I got, but they'll work. I used some weathering powders, and it's no fault to the powders that I used. It's just that I wasn't really in the mindset, I guess. But I used Monroe Models weathering powder and a little bit of Tamiya, and they are excellent products. Like I definitely do like them. It's just I didn't know really where to place them and that sort of stuff. But I did get that much done. I also, at the end of the video last time, and I didn't get it on there, I did put a Blair's line, a little bit of graffiti on the bottom of the building there, and then covered it up with the weathering job that I did. I can't remember if I had gotten the dock area here painted on the last video or not, but I did go ahead and do that as well, and got the safety yellow across the strip here, of course. Did a little bit of weathering. You can kind of see coming outside of some of those doors. Painted the doors and the windows what is that one? That was the Vallejo Air, or Vallejo Models, I think it was. Dark green, hunter green, can't remember. It's a green, obviously. Painted that on there, brushed that on there, and then tried to do a little bit of weathering with some, again, Monroe powder. Medium rust, I think I used on that. So I got that on some of the doors to just kind of weather them up. Painted the roof. I didn't know what to do with the roof. That part was hard for me because it's lacking some texture. It doesn't have just regular shingles, like asphalt shingles. It doesn't really have that design. It's just got these linear, perpendicular stripes, to where it's almost like shingles, but not quite. And I was really kind of hoping to make it the same green as the doors and that, but I didn't have Tamiya with any sort of green. This is Tamiya Sky, and I put a light airbrush over it. Still some streaks and that sort of stuff. It's still pretty light through here. Again, I kind of like that, doing it that way, and then weathering it on top of that. Then it's just kind of that base layer of the weathering. But I don't know what to do with this roof, honestly, because this sky, I don't know how much it's showing up on camera, how much it looks like it, but it kind of has that pewter kind of copper green that it would work. Like if I was doing a Statue of Liberty, this would be a great color to use. And I like the color, but I don't know about it being on a roof. If this was a copper roof, I could definitely see, but I don't see a building like this using copper for roofing in at any point. So I'm not too sure what I want to do with this. It's on here now, so I'm gonna have to figure something out what I want to do with weathering. But I like it. It's just, it wasn't going to be my first choice. But the next time I get a chance to go and get some more paint is in the distant future. So we'll turn it around carefully and you'll see kind of what I had to do. Of course, we got the two sections because this is a full build. This wall and the opposing wall over on this side were one. I just cut them straight down the center, and so I needed both roof panels. So we got them up there, cut them down, cut the edge off on both of them, butted them up, and then I just put a little bit of styrene in the center there just to make sure that it's nice and secure, give it a little bit of beefing up because there was no support back here. I also put in just this tube, this styrene plastic tube that I had laying around forever. I cut it to length, kind of brought the walls in because this wall here was a little off of 90 degrees, so it helped pull that back. And then I went and secured this, which was just part of the cut roof. Actually, this is the other part from there, so I just glued it down and then just kind of butted it up against there, glued everything together, and now that's nice and solid. Don't have to worry about that. Then I built this box. It's very crude. Nothing is straight with anything, but it's just there to block out some light. In the office, of course, you can kind of see maybe, I don't know. I did paint basically that first panel and half of this wall here, just so that way this room, or that window and this window and door are in the box. And painted the floor kind of a concrete color, and the walls are still just plain white. Didn't worry about coloring them. I just painted the inside of this black so that way it would block out the light from cutting through the walls. You'll see I got the wire here. This is just the Woodland Scenics Just Plug light, and I had some flack at one point over using it because I did my dollar motel with a bunch of these Just Plug lights, and they are expensive. It's a good system to use because you can plug in a bunch of them. They've got dials for dimmers and that sort of stuff, and they are good. And when you buy the expansion boxes or any of the boxes, you get two of these lights for free, and they're just little pucks. Simple. They've got the 3M tape on the back. Of course, I can't show you it, but yeah, I put on that post on Facebook that there was like $40 worth of LEDs, and they're like, well, you could have done that for pennies on the dollar if you just would have done blah blah blah. And I know I could have. I had these sitting around because I bought a lot of those kits. They come free with the thing, and you can buy these separately. And I think it's like $10 for 2 lights, and I used like 6 of them or something like that. So it's just like, people are giving me guff about them. They are a good system, especially if it's not a big layout, if you're just doing a few things, and or if you're just starting out and want something nice and easy. This system is really good. It is a little bit more expensive, but in the end, you get a really good result with them. So, got this one in here. I'm not sure. At some point, I probably will add some sort of lighting. I'd like to find some sort of lighting that looks like fluorescent tubes that I can kind of hang down from some of these here. But if I don't get any lighting, I'm not too worried. I've got the office. That's good enough. This would be a business that wouldn't work at night anyways. I just put it that way. So that is basically catching you up to this point. I did go ahead and paint the railings here, which you're probably not really going to see on the camera because they're so small. I've got them painted up what did I do? I used this Vallejo model color oily steel for them. And now I've just got to put them in. I've got the concrete steps here. I've just got to attach them, and then attach the railings to the steps, and then attach the steps to either end of the dock like so. And then she's basically ready to go on the layout and be in service. So let me go ahead and stick all that together, and then we will go ahead and get this over to the layout. So here is the finished product. I think it turned out pretty well. Like I said, I do have an idea of putting in some dock lights, but we'll see. That'll end up being in the future. I did go ahead and put in that little stretch of grass there, and it's just drying up now. Obviously, I haven't done anything with the other side yet because I need to get the dead-end road put in. It'll probably be closer towards that green there in the bigger area there. So I'll have to figure out exactly what I want to do between the dead-end road and the building. But right now, the main focus was to get this done because I really didn't feel it being there just with that three-walled black or brown plastic building that it was. So yeah, I did have to shim it up a little bit for some reason, because I guess where it was sitting before and not having the roof over the dock area, it was sloping a little bit too far forward, and anytime I tried to run a box car through there, it would end up hitting the roof. So had to shim it up, which is fine because now it's nice and tight up against the walls, and like the painted walls. And all I did was just throw in some of this thicker, of course it's not going to focus on it, but a scrap of styrene, and that's why it's always good. I've got this over here. This is just a bag full of cut off ends, and then I've got another box, cornerstone box under there that's got some too. So I don't typically throw away some of the bigger scraps because you never know what they'll come in handy for. So food for thought. So anyways, that will wrap this video up. I know there really wasn't much. I just wanted to catch you up on it. And I'm sorry that I didn't take any video of actually doing the painting of the roof and the doors and that sort of stuff. I just got home and got in my mood and just wanted to get it done. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and happy railroading. Of course, here's the lit office area. I think it's enough. Like I said, I'm still kind of on the fence of adding any more lights, any on the dock. I don't know. We shall see, but right now I think that works well enough.